everybody, and welcome to another episode of Spare Parts.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Evan.
Hi, Michelle.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I just came back from Saint Pierre. I was working out there, or as the locals would call it, Saint Pierre.
Nice. Beautiful pronunciation. Yeah.
It's wild. Have you ever been there or heard of it at all?
No.
Like as a concept? Okay. I got to tell you about this place. Okay. You know how Quebec, have you been to Quebec City?
I have.
Maybe?
It looks like the inside of a snow globe.
Exactly. Okay. So Quebec City is essentially Europe in Canada.
Yeah.
And everybody goes there is like, wow, cobblestone streets, so much French, the culture's different, amazing. This is actual Europe in North America. So it's owned by France and it's just off the coast of Newfoundland. They use the euro. No one speaks English. They have all European cars that they've imported. So like little, I had to convert all my money. And they legit, no one speaks English, and they don't. It's not Quebec French, it's France French. Because what happens is the French government has this like little island. It's called Saint Pierre and Miquelon, and they basically like send people over there. You know, you're from Normandy, you go spend 6 months in Saint Pierre and Miquelon, and you work there. And everyone has, I don't know if it's like UBI, but essentially there's enough money in the island for like 60,000 people to live, or 40,000 people, but only 6,000 people live there. It's crazy. So everyone's like very comfortable and having a nice time. And the culture is just totally different. All French butters, non-pasteurized milks. There is a bit of a cabin fever quality because you can't escape the island.
Right.
So so much so that people kind of have their horses loose. Like there's just like horses in the field. And it's like, whose horse is that? It's like, oh, that's Calypso. I know that horse. That's so-and-so's horse. And the horse can't get off the island. So you don't really care where it goes and just like look out for horses while you're driving.
That's kind of cool. And when you say you can't get off the island, there's no ferry, no planes. You had to swim.
I had to swim. And thankfully I took all those classes.
You're up on it now.
Ferries, but apparently it's really choppy and it's like an hour and a half ferry. So it's pretty far. And then the seaplanes or the planes that I took in were like they're little private jets that land on a runway and you walk out of the plane. There's no connecting thing. And the airport is like 4 people. And guess what?
Wow.
The extra on the day that I was shooting was my pilot. So I was like, so I like saw him, like I saw one of the extras. He was like, hi. And I was like, what the?
Oh my God.
So he's just like doing extra work, like when he's not a pilot, and then it goes back to piloting.
Whoa, that's kind of the reverse of Nathan Fielder. Did anyone watch the rehearsal?
It is the reverse. That's true. That is true. He like became an actor for fun. I wonder if there's a
correlation of like pilots kind of wanting to be in entertainment and vice versa. Yeah. Because I'm obsessed with aviation in a way that's like all fear-based and not anything practical. But yeah, I'm definitely fascinated.
Going through these 4 flights. So it's like this plane is like very small and we came in on an extremely foggy day, tons of rain, tons of wind, and you fly from Newfoundland to there and then back to Halifax. And then, so I actually got so much better at flying even in the last 4 flights that I just had to take back to back to back to back. Like I was like, oh my God, this is great.
Yeah, the more you fly, you're kind of like, well, I'm here. You kind of just sort of get over it because you have to.
Dude.
So I'm shocked that production is shooting in such a remote place.
Yeah. Yes. It's obviously, I don't know what I'm allowed to say about the production that I'm working on, but I'll just say it sure has a lot to do with the location.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so like they kind of had to, but they shoot a lot of it in Newfoundland and elsewhere as well. So I'm going back to shoot more of it in Newfoundland. But everyone was so nice. Like, oh my God, working on a production with East Coast people, like that's where Canada gets its like, oh, Canadians are so polite and nice thing. Like all the people being like just the sweetest and also almost incomprehensible. Oh, bye. Like, having a lovely day. Bye. Good for you. Like, I'm like, where are you from? Like, what is this? What world am I?
Yeah.
It was really cute.
That's so cute. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. I'm glad it went well. When do you go back to filming?
A couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks from now. So got some other stuff to do in between then. And then I go straight from filming to going to Italy to going to Boston. Wow. So we're going to have to find some times to record this freaking thing, man.
That's exciting though. Are you guys just going to Italy on a vacation, like summer trip?
Alana's very good friend is getting married and he's like kind of a famous friend. So I'm wondering if it's going to be like a like all like sponsored events and things like that. Like, you go to, when you go to like a wedding and there's like a photography wall sometimes, like there's a photographer. I wonder if it's going to be like that, but it's going to be like Grey Goose. Like, I feel like if I was,
brought to you by Monster Energy.
If I was known enough, I think I would also do that. Like, I would just try and get some sponsors, like, pay for my ridiculously expensive wedding in Italy, please.
Yeah, why not? Hey,
right?
Everything can be monetized, even your own wedding.
Exactly, especially your own wedding. I feel like that's the one that's the thing that costs the most that like people want to be a part of. If they're a brand.
And I guess it kind of is monetized in a way for everyone because the expectation is that all the guests bring you cash to offset the cost.
Yeah, true. I was wondering how that was going. I was like, I like the registry, but I always end up just doing cash in an envelope. It's just so much easier.
Cash is always the way to go.
Yeah, you always think you're going to do the registry and then you look it up and you're like, what? I don't want to get you a tablecloth. Like, oh, it sounds stupid.
No, it's boring. Also, cash is just easy and nice. Yeah. And that way, I don't know. Yeah.
Plus, you do the card, you drop it in the box. Just feels good. I don't know.
It feels good. And the last few weddings I went to, there was no registry even. They were just like,
really?
We know what we want.
Oh, damn. Maybe people are like past that in our day and age because it's like everyone has so much shit already. You don't need to like, you're not getting a new, because you used to be, you'd marry your partner and move into 18. A new home and you have no things.
You have nothing.
But now it's like we already have 2 sets of every piece of cutlery we need. Like, why do we need a third set of cutlery?
What we really need is money.
Yeah, to pay for like our rent. Because you're not even like buying a house when you get married now. You're like still renting, but you're like, we want to get a maybe 2-bedroom.
I just want to clock something.
Yeah, clock, baby.
I am not firing on all cylinders this morning, and I'm having a really hard time like keeping up with you in banter.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think you're doing great, and I'm sorry if I'm too energetic for you right now.
No, it's good. I'm actually so happy you're here.
Wait, let me sink down here. Let me just get more relaxed like you.
I want to speak to it because sometimes you're just not. I don't know. I'm having a bit of a slumpy day, but that's okay.
What? Let's just have a little. As you said last time, let's have a kiki.
Kiki.
I'm glad you said that to me because the hair person said it to me on this show, and I was like, I know what that means.
I know what that is.
I would not have known what that was before you said it to me.
It's not something that I say often. It just felt right last episode. I feel like I said it twice.
I think you said it twice.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I might have said it twice, which makes it seem like it's really part of my life, but it just feels good to say kiki.
You're
you know what
brave,
else feels good?
Though. You try new words. You do. I don't try new words. You're very brave.
Like limerence? You were blown away by limerence.
I'm still am. What else do you like to say? What other words are you enjoying right now?
Well, speaking, we discussed kind of like Gen Z isms and like how we have brain rot from TikTok and stuff. But I did another podcast and he was like, do you have like a favorite word? And the word that popped into my head and I was like, God damn it, was diabolical.
Diabolical. It's true. It's a great word, but it is a little used at the moment.
It's so used. And I like the way it feels in my mouth. Diabolical. I like mini syllables. Yeah, and the ball.
You gotta really get your mouth to pop. Ballical. Diabolical.
Barnacle in the same vein. Also a great word.
Barnacles. I'm gonna start saying that. I'm so Gen Z. So cool.
That sounds extremely like, what's the generation after boomers?
Geriatric? I don't know.
Right. Is it? Yeah, wait, what is?
They're called the...
I guess before boomers.
I think they're called... Oh, shit. Oh my God, I knew... Zoomers, no?
Zoomers?
Yeah, they're not called Zoomers? Because I think my dad's a Zoomer. And there's a thing called Zoomer Radio and Zoomer Magazine. And I'm pretty sure that's like pre-boomer. Like people born in the 40s. Like... My dad's born in 46.
Okay.
My dad's born in 1946. That's crazy.
They're called, AI is telling me that they're called the silent generation. Also known as the traditionalist generation. Is AI fucking with me?
Yeah, I've never heard any of this shit, man. AI is just making it up.
Cohort preceding the baby boomers. This generation is generally defined as people born from 1928 to 1945. So that would be your dad.
Oh, my dad's 46.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. He's in whatever comes after.
He's just a boomer.
Oh, shit.
Just.
Oh.
They're literally referring to them as silent generation. And then 1901 to 1924, according to the robot that's talking to me, is called the greatest generation.
Oh, come on. Like, did they write this fucking AI script? That's ridiculous. Greatest generation. I don't
think they did.
The sexy hot generation. Like, what are you talking about? That's crazy.
Oh, how old is a Zoomer? Great. Here we go.
Let's do it.
What?
Is it boomers
No.
who know how to use a phone?
Zoomer. No. We're so off. A Zoomer is a nickname for someone in Generation Z, which consists of people born between 97 and 2012.
No.
That's what I'm
the
sorry,
robot's
telling
there's no
me.
way Zoomer radio is for those kids, man. If you listen to Zoomer radio, it only plays like Burt Bacharach. Like, I don't think they're listening to that shit. That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
No. Zoomer magazine is white-haired dudes on yachts, like hugging their golden retriever. Like, there's no way that magazine is for. You're like, my dream life.
Me coded. Okay, coded is also brain rot.
Yeah,
speak.
me coded. Brain rot is brain rot speak. What do you mean?
The next Google search is the silent generation still alive?
Oh, bro. Uh-oh.
No, dude. No.
Not all.
I mean, we are. I feel like my parents are the most quintessential boomers in every sense of the word.
Right. They had it good in some ways, like cheap houses, and there was what else is a quintessential boomer? Like didn't know what a computer was until they were like 40.
And didn't have to. And never had to. Like, if they were interested, sure, great. But they never really had to. They were sort of that sweet spot of everything kind of lined up. And I'm not saying everybody had a perfect life, all the things. Trauma is everywhere.
Yes, she is. Come for her. Another one. Come for her.
There's no boomers listening to this pod, except for my parents. Do your parents listen to this?
My parents don't even know who I am. They have 4 sons.
They have too many children.
They don't even know which one is me. No, they don't listen to this podcast. They've tried watching Letterkenny before. I don't get it.
They've tried.
They're like, I don't get it. But they've tried. They sure have tried. Yeah, they just don't understand what's happening, I don't think. My parents are older than your parents, to be fair. Although my dad did watch the episode with Alana and I because he was like, what is this? And we weren't talking about Letterkenny at all. So I think it was really relevant to him.
Oh, just of you and Alana. Oh, yes, I see. I was like,
because we were talking about Letterkenny. So I think he could follow along very easily.
Okay, well, that doesn't count.
He might watch this and then stop when we start doing Letterkenny.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, then he doesn't actually love you. Yeah.
I'm going to get my therapist on the phone.
I will. Yeah. My parents do watch it. And I don't actually think that there's an excuse. My granny, God rest her soul, she passed away at 99, meaning she started watching Letterkenny when she was like 96, and she watched all of it, and she thought it was so genius and so funny.
That's great.
No, she loved it. Yeah, she thought Wayne was so hot, and it was like this thing that I would tell Jared, and she would like one time like made a video being like, well, she didn't make a video. I filmed her like watching a Letterkenny episode, and Jared comes on the screen and she looks at me and she goes, hubba hubba.
When we eventually have Jared on the podcast, we're definitely gonna have to introduce him with hubba hubba. Hubba. That is like Gen Z speak for the silent generation. Like that's one of the words that they would have used to describe an attractive man. Hubba hubba.
Hubba hubba.
She used to do that now.
I think we should bring it back. It's so funny. She used to do it at this Greek restaurant in Nanaimo. The owner was like this big kind of elderly Greek man, long ponytail, like quite buff, and she would go hubba hubba like under her breath as she sips her wine as he's at the table.
Did she also smoke a cigarette from like a holder, like a cigarette holder? Like it sounds like
she was a health nut, but she loved a glass of Riesling. But that was kind of her only little.
But I feel like as a health nut, like a little glass of Riesling every now and then just like brings the old temperature of the body down. Probably like cools you off a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a nice mix. Very sweet wine, but anyways. The silent generation, they were really onto something. Let's bring hubba hubba back. I'd like you to make a TikTok video where you just sneak it in.
You are now going. That's what it sounds like for you right now. All I heard was
no. Am I back? Am I back? Am I back? Okay.
You're back now.
Can we just get into this actual episode of Les Hiques? Because
absolutely.
I watched it this morning. 7 a.m. watch. Intense thing to watch at 7 a.m. I love this episode and I'm so excited to talk about it.
I thought that this episode, I've always been kind of combining this episode with I think either the next episode or the following episode, like the one where they actually fight the dudes from Laval. But this episode is like 3 separate episodes of television. There's the Hick plotline is totally separate from the hockey. Hockey's totally separate from the skids. All 3 are there. It's just like back and forth. Do you want to just kind of address it like all the hockey stuff, all the Hick stuff, all the skid stuff, so that we're not just like bopping around? Because they're not related.
I know, it's interesting.
None of it's related.
Usually there's some overlap. There's some, but I know what you mean. And I will say the worst storyline of this whole episode. This episode is about the Hiques. You know, I'm sorry to say it's really about the Hiques.
Well, I'm sorry. The worst storyline is obviously the hockey players shitting. It was disgusting. Yes. I hated this plotline for them.
I hated it. I fast forwarded.
God, I was revolted the whole time when they go. Dude, at one point they go to poop in the toilets. I don't know how to say this in a normal way because it's not a normal thing to talk about. They go to the bathroom. That's what I would say. And
they go to the bathroom.
After they get out of the stalls, they exit the stalls. They don't wash their hands. They fist bump and they go and continue talking to the rest of the team. I was like, ew.
Well, and they go to drink more of their drink. They're consuming food /liquid with the dirty hands.
What's Shred the Red even? Pre-workout?
I think it's a smoothie. I think it's like a smoothie mixed with like protein powder and stuff. And I would assume it's red because some of the powder they're putting in is red, or berries.
I don't think it's berries. I don't think it's berry. I think the red maybe comes from some sort of caffeine or pre-workout jack up thing, like something like creatine and protein and some mixture, that thing. The red. Should we just look it up? What is the red? Shred the Red. Shred the Red, boys. Oh my God, there's literally a whole Letterkenny subreddit post about it, and somebody is drinking it. Ew. Saying shred the Red, boys. Meal suppies on the Sketty boys. So it's a meal supplement. And with caffeine in it. And pre-workout and energy. Energy Shred, it's called.
Ooh, that's tough on the digestion, obviously. I didn't like their storyline. I'm going to just say it. I didn't like it, but that's okay. Not everything is for everyone. And there was so many other parts of this episode that were so redeemable, obviously.
Sure. Like the whole Hickes plotline is lovely. This was one of the episodes that made me think, how is it possible they're going to make a Shoresy television show? This was like this, right. This kind of episode is like, for me, I'm like, is the whole thing going to take place in the bathroom?
In the bathroom.
Like I just didn't have a big enough brain to visualize him outside of there.
I don't know if it's a brain size issue. I think there are a lot of people in this world who find poops and farts to be the funniest stuff on the planet. I can't relate. It makes no sense to me. Yeah. But it's a huge culture, I guess. And it's not our culture.
What's your culture? Poops and farts.
Yeah. No, but really, I think that's something to just sort of thinking about. And it's funny, like I found this episode was like, that storyline aside, I was so impressed with Jared's writing of this episode. And I should really look. I think maybe Jared and Jacob had a hand in this on the writing side of things. But all the Hick and Quebec stuff was so brilliantly done. And this feels very much like, especially Jared, it's kind of his love letter to Quebec, because this was around the time that he was really starting to be really serious with his wife. Meglie, who's French, and he had moved. Well, he had lived in Montreal, but he was like really learning the language and kind of immersing himself in the culture in a different way.
Oh, for so long, he was living in literally the French woods, and his local butcher and the place where he gets groceries all spoke French, and he's the only English-speaking guy. And I remember one time when I was up there with him, we were up with the boys, and he was like, "Oh, can you come to the butcher with me? I want you to speak some French to him." And so we went in town. We went into town to go get boar chops. And I was like, when I started talking to the butcher, I was like, holy shit, this guy's like French. Like not even, you know what I mean? Like when
not
you get like
a lick
into that
of English.
No, that like Acadian French, like
Yeah.
almost incomprehensible. It's like the Newfoundland of French too, like that level
Right.
of French where they're using
Yeah.
all sorts of expressions. But it was really fascinating thinking about him living in that town, living in that neighborhood
Yeah.
for so many years, just completely, other.
Yeah. No, it was really well written. There was a lot of like nuance, and I think he definitely wrote this episode. Obviously, our audience is primarily English speaking.
Yeah.
But this episode felt like really inclusive to Quebecers. A lot of those jokes weren't for
French viewers
us.
from it? Do you think we actually earned a couple?
I hope so. I hope
too.
that I do remember talking to the actors of Les Hiques, and they were like dying over the stuff. And a lot of the jokes that were written at our expense, like the English speaking Canadians and their expense, like they were really into it, and it was just nice. I do want to say I did kind of write down and order a couple notes. So I would like to, if you guys don't mind,
No,
go through them.
Yeah, I also have a list of all of the things that happened.
Yeah,
do you want to just talk about the
I just
Hiques
want to
first,
pop into a couple things where I go, why was I wearing shorts in the middle of the winter? I just
because you're
clock
inside
that.
the barn, and so
No, I'm inside the house.
Inside the
but
house, you're wearing little
still.
shorty shorts with your little pockets sticking out the bottoms.
Yeah, this episode also made me want to dye my hair platinum blonde again.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I like this look.
I like the aesthetic of the episode a lot, like with the snow and with the ski jackets and all the sleds and like outdoors. I'm sure this was awful to shoot in. Like, tell me about it. Was it the worst?
Yeah. Well, so, okay, this was the day. This was the shot of us like walking in the snow.
The only walk and talk in all of Letterkenny. What the
I know.
fuck?
Or at least like I can't really think of another one.
For real. It's the only walk and talk, and also the mics are buried underneath your fucking ski jacket, so it sounds like this.
Yeah, it's a bit muffled.
It's like
I think we had to get a lot of it in ADR.
Ton
but
of ADR.
Yeah. No, it was freezing. And this was the time that I shot a pilot down in Toronto. So over like the weekend, like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I shot this pilot in Toronto called The Machine. It never went, but it was like
With
this
my
crazy.
wife.
Yes.
She was in that as well.
Yes.
With you.
Which is so weird.
Yeah,
she played
weird.
like the young girl, and I was like playing this AI.
Always.
God, AI.
You can't get away from it, dude.
I'm like, what the? I forgot about that. And I wore this like crazy prosthetic like suit thing. Anyways, I wrapped at 3 a.m, got picked up by Letterkenny like drivers, drove from Toronto to Sudbury, which is like a 5-hour drive right to set on Letterkenny to shoot in like the freezing cold outside and all those scenes with Les Hiques.
I would not have known you were coming off of like work and no sleep.
Zero sleep.
You were just like the usual. I wouldn't have known.
I felt, and it was so cold, and it was a big day, but it was really fun, and it kind of woke me up too to be outside. So it was almost best case scenario. I think if we'd been doing like an inside warm scene, I would have fallen asleep. But it was cold. To answer your question, it was very.
Do you wear
cold.
the heat pack on the back, or did you have an electric jacket on, or what did you do?
I think we did all of it.
Yeah.
We did all of the things. Also, to go back to the scene in the kitchen, one of my favorite lines, for some reason, I just remember shooting this and it made me giggle so much, is like Katie says something like under her breath, she goes, "Love the D."
Yeah.
Like there's like some wordplay. We're kind of like,
well, because they're talking about
da-da-da.
all the different snacks. They chose to pick all snacks that start with a C, because if you choose another letter, then all of a sudden there's all sorts of choices. So C's the best: chips, cookies, whatever, cranberries, I don't know what crackers are.
And then they're like D for drinks, and then Katie goes, "Love the D." And then Wayne walks past and he just kind of quietly went, "Pardon?" And then just keeps going. And it's like this moment of kind of Katie saying something gross and him being almost like innocent, and just the way he says it, it made me break every time. And then Gus getting held like a little babel.
Little Babel. Like a little Babel.
Guys, I'm struggling.
You're good. Did you shoot all night last night and then get driven to Victoria?
I feel like I did. yeah, so I did love those little moments. I just have really fond memories of shooting this stuff.
That's good.
I think when you're bleach blonde, everything really retains, which seems
Blondes have more fun.
counterintuitive. But I was like, speaking of firing on all cylinders, I was nailing it when I was blonde. I was like absorbing everything. Like I just remember it so
I love these
well.
stories you're telling yourself just so that you can like convince yourself to dye
Be
your hair
blonde
again. It's so
Hey.
bad for your hair. Don't do it. I know what you're thinking. Don't do it.
I want somebody to hire me for a job where they go, sorry, we're going to need you Khaleesi blonde. And I go, well, there's nothing I can do. I can't fight it.
It's in my contract.
It's in my contract. Yeah, so there's a lot of really funny lines in this episode, like as always, but I was really impressed with like all the jokes and the banter and the back and forth, and like the French steward is not French. Katie's watching them pee.
Dude, were you looking at their dicks, do you think? Because like from the perspective of the camera, all three of them are lined up peeing, like the Hiques, and you're leaning out the car, looking directly at the front of them, and they're peeing for a good 3 minutes. So in my mind, I'm like, you're staring at your brother's dick and his two best friends, and you're just staring at them, and no one seems concerned. Yeah, please.
When you're peeing with pants on and up, is your dick? Sorry for saying dick.
Yeah, say dick. Yeah,
brain.
Yeah. What would you call it? Penis?
Genitalia.
That's way worse. Don't say genitalia.
Is it out of the pant, or is it poking through slightly?
No one ever pokes. No one ever like sticks their dick through the like boxers or like underwear. No one ever uses that slit. If that's what you're talking about, you pull it out and you kind of like flop it out.
See, my understanding though in this, there's no way that their pants are down.
No one. You never pull your pants all the way down unless you want to get your ass kicked. That's like nobody pulls their pants. No one goes to the ground. You always just kind of, have you ever, I guess you never have been in a bathroom where guys are using urinals? Well,
yes, but like
in Europe,
but I mean, I've been in like all gender bathrooms, obviously, but,
oh my God, someone's at your house now. Dude, no one ever comes to your home. Who's at your home?
Let me go check.
Oh my God. Keep it recording just in case.
My gardeners.
The famous gardeners.
They're always here.
They are there a lot. Jeez.
They're essentially trimming a hedge, and they needed some tips and tricks because I know a lot about hedging.
They're like, oh, Michelle's got this. Let's go check on her.
No, they just wanted to know.
Do you think they were looking at? Do you think Katie was looking at the Hiques penises?
I don't. I think her eyes were up.
Soft gaze.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, exactly. She was kind of like looking in the distance, and they were blurry in the forefront. Do
you guys ever get to do a scene like this where like the girls are all using the bathroom at the same time, or is it only boys go to the bathroom in the show?
I think only boys go to the bathroom. Period.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Period.
Certainly in Letterkenny Land.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, I don't even think. I shot one scene. God, I wonder when this is coming. Whoa, I'm getting a Letterkenny memory flashback of a scene. Yeah, in the bathroom where I walk in and McMurray is there, and we have some kind of exchange. But I'm like, did I dream that? Is
Mrs.
it even in the
McMurray
show? Is
or
it
Mr. McMurray?
Man McMurray.
McMurray.
Who also we didn't mention, but was at the CSAs.
We saw
and
him
guys,
at the CSAs.
His mullet was flowing.
It was
curly,
mulleting hard.
Ringlet mullet.
Yeah.
It was a wild look, but yeah, that's my only recollection of a scene. But I don't remember ever watching this scene. So did it get cut? Because it's like girls can't be in the bathroom. I don't know.
Right. I don't know. I've no memories of ladies in the bathroom in Letterkenny, but I sure can remember a lot of guys being in the bathroom. A lot of bathroom humor for the boys. We have that same setup at some point with Tyson and Joint Boy. Me and Tyler, Roldan Stewart have the lineup peeing, and I remember because we were looking directly into the genitalia of horses. There were horses directly in front of us. I don't even know if they made it into the shot, but it was like a giant horse vagina and a giant horse. No, they were like the biggest. Yeah, directly in front of us. No, we were outside peeing at a farm, like for the show, and I don't think they were shooting the horses, but the horses were back end towards us, and they were all kind of lined up, and they were enormous.
Okay, I
horrifying.
have never in my head. I don't know about a horse's vagina. I've never
Google
seen
horse
that.
vagina.
No, I don't want to Google that.
For real, it's crazy. It's so much bigger than you think it's going to be. However big you think it's going to be, it's like at least 10 times
triple
bigger than
it. Okay, I don't know if I will search that. That's just something that's going to retain or maintain a mystery to me. I mean, a couple great lines from this episode. All Anus Morissette, which the guys love.
And they keep coming back to.
Nelly Furtado.
It started really Canadian. It was all Canadian stuff. And then it moved over. You fucked it up. Because you said.
What did I bring in?
Because you brought in something that wasn't Canadian. It was a guy. And it was a non-Canadian guy. I know. I was like, oh man, Katie.
Come on, dude.
Sorry, man.
I like when Dan says Count Dracula. And then he kind of is like, and that one's fun because it lends itself to great costumes. And that's so camp. And he kind of says it at Katie.
Cute, yeah.
And it's a little bit of a like, see, I'm working with Professor Trisha. Like, I know some things. And then, of course, we see Les Hiques.
Which is the best. I think there's such a good reveal. I love how jovial they are and how much fun they're having. And how, why the fuck are the English-speaking Hiques such pricks? They definitely start that whole thing for sure. It's like, pick another part of the lake, you dickheads. Like
they're too close.
Yeah,
I agree.
They showed up to their spot in Quebec. It's their home.
And I think this is maybe the only moment where the Hiques are kind of the antagonist energy.
They're wrong.
They're wrong. They're wrong and strong.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, a little retraction. You said last time that I said wrong and strong about you, and then you're like, haha, it was so funny. And I just kind of like kept going with it. So I guess I tried to steal, it's stolen valor at the end of the day. That was Nadine's joke. Moving on.
I'm glad that it's so obvious to everyone that I can be wrong and strong. That's so great. They were wrong and strong, and the Hiques were being, I think, were being delightful in their retorts. And the
funny.
Oh my God, look. All that stuff was so fun.
Celine Dion in a hostile tone.
I loved that back and forth,
it.
the Celine Dion in a hostile tone stuff. And the kind of mirror images. I love the casting of having like a Wayne and a Wayne and a Derry and a Kate and a Squirrely Dan.
And I remember talking to Les Hiques, and they were all such good actors. They came so prepared. Yeah. They were like on it, and they had done such extensive character research on all of us, and the way that they were mimicking, especially like I should know his name, but the man who's a kind of the counterpoint to Derry, like all of his body language and stuff is so perfect. They just did such a good job, and they really did. You like them more than the us Hiques.
In this episode,
yeah, and I think that's definitely, again, part of the love letter that Jared wrote to Quebec was like putting them where they belong.
We have a complicated relationship, not with, like as actors with Quebec, just as a concept, because like they have like a star system and they have their own film and television industry, and they are very supportive of it, and they are fans of their own stuff. Like they're like, I go to Quebec and I see someone like Karine Vanasse and I'm like, wow, she's like a celebrity there.
Yeah.
Like she's like a full blown, like, we don't have stuff like that in Canada. We really don't. Not to the same extent anyway. And I bet all of these people are all extremely trained actors who have been in the industry for years and years and years and years. And this is just like the crossover, because Keith probably knows a lot of these people already, is my guess.
For sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. And he's probably fans of them. Like I remember how excited he was to do all the Quebec stuff. And I mean, like to your point, the casting was so good when Nick is introduced.
Oh my God, Kim.
Played by Kim.
Fucking love Kim. She's such a sweet person.
She's an angel. Connor, I was like watching the episode, and Connor was like, "Is that you?"
What? He thought you were doing like mirror image. That's so funny, especially considering the slow-mo pan up is of a ski suit, so it doesn't look like a human body until you get to the face. Like, look, it's so sexy.
Sexy girl.
It's just black outline of nothing.
Yeah.
Kim's a very attractive person, but the slow-mo was
Yeah.
full comedy. Like that was a goof, right? Like,
yeah. But then, hey, that face reveal. I mean,
totally. With the little,
she's got a good face on
the
her.
little thingy head wrap that you're also wearing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very cute.
So
I
cute.
love all the back and forth. I love the kind of like hostility and playing into there's even a separatist joke. Like they really put on display the kind of tensions, quote unquote, between Canadians outside of Quebec and Quebecers. And
Specifically
it is
Ontarians.
Well, yes, specifically Ontarians. And there is this kind of cultural divide, but there's also obviously so much love and respect.
Dude,
and
I
this
fucking
is just a funny
love Quebec. And this is one of those things that follows us every time, because I work a lot in Quebec. Every time I go to work there, every time I'm in Quebec, I get so many DMs that are like, I love the fishing in Quebec. It's like... It is
such a thing.
nonstop. People remember these episodes like very well.
Great fishing in Quebec. Yeah. It is such a cultural moment for the Letterkenny like zeitgeist.
Totally.
And it was cool too, because I feel like a lot of Americans latched onto it and maybe didn't understand like the Quebec of it all. I don't know if you guys agree with that. If you're American listening, let us know if this was like a kind of an introduction to the Quebec stuff.
I'd like to know how much you knew about the relations and whether or not this is helpful, because it is quite accurate. I think like that kind of like the tension of it, but then also the camaraderie once you get over the tension. Like, because you try and speak French wherever you go, it's maybe a little uncomfortable, but then if you accept each other and they like that you're trying to speak French, all of a sudden you're like, you're drinking, you're having a nice time, you're laughing, you're having amazing food. Like, I love Quebec.
Oh my gosh. I lived in Montreal briefly and I loved living in Montreal. I loved the people, the lifestyle there, like all of the things. It's just such a great place.
Sexy city in the world.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's cool. Great like nightlife. The summers in Montreal are insane.
This reminds me of one of the important points of this episode, and specifically Derry's motivation. Derry keeps saying he's a not good enough looking guy to get by on his looks.
Right.
Which
in Quebec with French people.
Wild to me, because I find the exact opposite to be true. I find like if you're even slightly different looking, you're so much hotter in Quebec. Like people in Montreal come on to me way more often than they do in Ontario.
Really?
Like people give me looks. People are like way flirtier. Yeah, because if you're like a little grimy looking, if you're a little like off, like maybe you look like an artist, you're like a little different. They're like, ooh, like they don't like a classically handsome guy. They want a guy who looks like he smokes cigarettes. Yeah,
they don't want the boxy jawline or the big pecs. They want a cool
They invented
vibe.
Rat Boy Summer or whatever. Like that's why you know all of their famous actors are like these kind of strange looking artists. Like,
okay, well, I just want to interject a little bit. You're not strange looking.
Okay,
so,
but I'm not the classical handsome.
Sure, but what is that and who cares? But I know you mean like there's
they got a lot of time for me in Montreal. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's great. They like an artist. There's also like Montreal, I'll give it a bit of grief because there is like a vibe of so many just like kind of artists who like do not ever want to get a job. And it really
and they don't have to. It's cheap as fuck to live there. Rent is cheap.
Not
food's
as cheap anymore.
No, but still compared to Toronto, it still is. So you could still go there. Maybe you won't be buying a place anymore, but you could still go to Montreal and essentially be retired at 30. Like that's the vibe. It's like if you work a bar job, you can work 3 days a week, retired at 30, have brunch every day, drink wine every afternoon. It's pretty nice, but it's also kind of like meandering. Yeah. Like it's not like Toronto is so, everyone has so many ambitions. Like it's just so ambitious and everyone's like cutthroat a little bit.
High tension.
Montreal's like the opposite. It's like, hey, have you been to the drum circle yet? Like I remember that was like the first thing I ever heard about Montreal was like the drum circle. And I went.
I love to visit Montreal, but I'm too much of a capitalist pig to live there. So
can't make money in Montreal. That's true. There you go.
You can't. Yeah, but you can enjoy a beautiful meal and a great ball of wine at the Tam Tams. That's the drum circle.
That's what they're called. Yeah. Oh, don't go. Or go once just to see it. It's interesting.
Yeah. They also do like night fighting Anyways, let's get back to the episode. I kind of want to talk about the skids for a minute because this is a sweet little, like, we get more of a deep dive into the dynamics now that Gay has entered the group, and Roald is not coping well.
No, not at all. He's not. He's first of all, he lost Devin. And now he's got this horrible replacement, a girl, which is disgusting to him, and someone who also clearly Stuart is in love with. Like the tension between them and the weird, creepy, like when she flicks him in the dick, and he's like, ugh.
I hated that. I didn't like that.
You should watch that scene again and look at Sarah's face. She is absolutely holding in a laugh. It is like undoubtedly she's
holding in a laugh.
She's breaking
a lot.
She's breaking in. It's clearly not a character choice. Like it's like her face is like.
I know. I did see this face quite a bit in this episode.
She's dying.
It was delightful.
That whole clown stuff was awesome, though. I thought we looked so fucking cool, man. I thought we looked cool.
Like the car kind of like rolling up. So, oh my god, no. Okay, and this was a moment. I've been thinking about this a lot. TV in the last 15 years can be so bad. There is so much garbage out there. It's like unbelievable. There's also so much good stuff. I not to talk about Letterkenny, but Hacks, I think, is one of the best shows ever made across. There's so much good stuff out there, but there's so much garbage. And I just like, this was a moment when the car and the music that they chose and you guys, and then all the dialogue, previously with the Hiques and stuff, where I was just like, again, Letterkenny is so good. And I'm so proud that I got to be a part of it. Nice. And that's such a cheesy ass thing to say. And I've said it before, but I'm like, to make something this good is not easy. And so again, as always, like hats off to Jared Kiso and Jacob Tierney for like creating it. Like it's so crazy. It's crazy. It's actually good. I've been watching some new comedies that have been coming out and I'm just like, oh my God, it's so deeply up the middle that
is it this one? Hold on.
It makes me sad.
Hold on. Is it this one? I just texted you it.
Okay, he's texting me because we were talking a little bit of shit.
I feel like I always know what you're talking about.
No, actually.
Oh, it's not bad. Okay.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Okay. I love this part of
I'm texting him back.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that either.
I'm just like, there's some ha-has, but I'm like, guys, it's just, anyways, to be original, wow, what a concept.
It's hard because comedy, from what I have experienced, is like a lot of people telegraph what they think comedy is in comedy. They'll like telegraph the joke. They're like, this is the joke. This is the funny thing. As opposed to doing the acting and letting the joke itself be the joke. Like there's a lot of that
point.
Now.
Yes, it's such a great point.
It's like, I'm aware of comedy. It's like, okay. What? Just do the joke. Like act. Like pretend you believe the thing. Don't believe the joke.
Perfectly put. Like, so anyways, blah, blah, blah. But the dance between the skids and then that slow-mo, like, it's just cool and it's funny, and the music, you're like, how is this kind of cool? But it's sort of cool.
I was like, man, when I remember recording that, I was like, we're gonna look so fucking stupid. But then watching it back, I'm like, we look like a fucking gang. Like we look like a cool ass gang. We look like we're from The Purge. Like I'm scared, kind of.
I know.
Like, what are we gonna do?
Hey. That's gang. Remember when we used to say that in
gang
2015? Gang. Oh God. Oh, I just got shivers in a bad way. To wrap up this episode, we have this beautiful moment where D-Gens come to confront the Hiques, and thank goodness Les Hiques are also there because they show up because they also hate D-Gens. Their D-Gens are from Laval, which makes sense if you know anything about Quebec. And then they kind of come together for this bonfire, and it's like a meeting of the minds.
One of my best friends moved to Laval.
Sorry.
What?
We have such a lag right now.
What? Are you frozen? Yeah, you are frozen. You look purple.
Okay. I'm going to leave and come back.
We're going to have to take a second. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat my salad then. It was good. It's kind of salty, but it's vegetables, so I know it's like healing me. I wish I could feel each of my organs individually and know what they needed. You know what I mean? Like I wish I could, like in a video game.
Am I back and better than
like,
ever?
You know when you play Fallout or whatever, you see like how much health
so
your like lungs have.
Back to the bonfire. I do absolutely love like all of this
like
kind of.
I wish I could see that with all my lungs.
Two Waynes
and
kind of
stuff.
coming together and talking about the language, and then also they're both trying to speak each other's language, which is very cute. And then Derry and Nick, their love story is born. I'm so pissed.
If you could see what you look like to me right now.
Did you get any of that?
It's terrifying. It looks like you're being electrocuted. Oh, you're back now. Oh my God.
Okay, let's just wrap this the fuck up.
That was so scary for a bit there. This is going to haunt my dreams. Like, I'm actually going to have like nightmares about this thing. No, I heard seriously, bonfire.
Seriously.
Other than that,
okay, but I just like, I love the Derry and a Nick of it all.
So scary,
That's what I'll say.
Dude, we have to sign with a production company. We have to get in person. We gotta do it.
Yeah.
And make our decisions.
Yeah, I can get behind it too. It's a great...
am I still am I lagging for you or are we good? Is this normal? Are we normal now? Okay, we're normal now. Good. Cool. No, it's not normal. Okay.
I don't know if Evan can hear me right now, but it has been a lot of fun. We love you guys so much. And we'll be back next week and we'll have these tech issues sorted out. And we'll do 2 Spare Hearts questions next week. Okay? We promise. Love you.
We love you guys.
Bye.